Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, again of a new episode of Clyde the Tank 2.0 on the road. Today I'm going to have an interview with a Dutch MMA icon in the MMA scene, Stefan the SKYSCRAPER Struve. He fought I think about 7 years in the UFC, and this guy needs his credit, man, and I'm going to give it to him today. Welcome. Ciao. Okay, once again, welcome to another episode of Clyde the Tank 2.0 on the road. Today we're in Beverwijk and I'm going to do an interview with nobody else than Stefan the SKYSCRAPER Struve.
Yes.
Stefan, welcome to my YouTube channel. We're going to do an interview regarding your career as an MMA fighter. We're going to dig deep in some subjects, nice subjects. And I'm delighted that you give me the opportunity to interview you guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming all the way here, and let's dig in the past.
Yeah. Okay, Stefan. The people that know you from now know you, of course. Most of the people know you from the UFC, but I've been following you for about, I said, what's your age now? 31, 32?
33.
33.
Yeah.
I've known you since you were I think 16 or 17 years old. And at that time you were fighting 86 kilograms? 80?
Yeah, I started at 85 kilograms as a weight class at that point. Yeah.
But you're already this tall, huh?
I was, maybe a little shorter, but pretty close to what I am right now. So I was really skinny.
Skinny,
yes.
But a tough MF.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about some fights, of course, about your career. And first of all, I want to start with your trainer, Bob Schreiber. I've known Bob for over 20-25 years. I think you know, he fought 2 times against my brother.
Kickboxing.
Yeah, kickboxing. I want to give all the respect also to your trainer, because he's not only a good, respectful person, but he was one of the toughest fighters I've ever known in my life. So, Bob, all the respect to you. Of course, also to your wife, Irma.
Same thing.
Hell of a couple, man.
Yep.
Tough cookies. But that being said, can you tell me a little bit about your ambitions as a young guy coming up? How did you start fighting and all those things?
Back in 2003, I think I started training, and at that point the gym was still close to here in Beverwijk. And my older brother was already training for about 3.5, 4 years, and he already had a couple fights in Zaandam, the Silvermeeuwen. It's like a small
venue.
Soccer venue,
I know.
Indoor soccer venue where they had a lot of events almost every month, sometimes more. So, and that was one of the places where young talented fighters got the chance to fight in front of a crowd, and I went there to see him fight, and then I went to training, and I was worthless in the beginning. My brother kicked my ass all the time. But I loved it, man. Really, I fell in love, even though I got back home and I was sore every day.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. And in 2004, there was an event here in Beverwijk and the local arena, and I wasn't supposed to fight, but someone fell out the week of the fight, and then I was offered the opportunity, and so I was like, okay,
let's go for it.
Let's do it.
Was it straight MMA or did you do kickboxing or what?
No, I didn't do kickboxing. It was MMA, or at that point the rules were a little different here. The fights were 2-3 minute rounds, where a 30-second round fight, and then the referee would break you up to stand up again. So I fought there, and I won by a head kick in like 1.5 minutes. So and then from then on, everything went really, really fast. So,
really fast.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember your fight because you had a big promotion named The Rings in Holland. And I remembered your fight against the local hero in Utrecht, Nieuwegein, Billy Captain. We spoke about this fight behind the scenes, behind the cameras. And I remember you were walking on the catwalk, and I spoke to some people in the crowd, and they were really underestimating you because you were tall, you were skinny.
Yep.
You're not your average fighter, let's say it like this. Because when somebody sees, they think you're a really straight broker or just... But I told those people, because I already saw 1 or 2 fights, and I told these people, believe you me, if Billy's gonna win, he's gonna work hard for it. And what do you remember about that fight?
I was a tall, skinny kid. I didn't look like a fighter at all. And he was the local hero, so he was supposed to fight my brother.
Yes.
And
Nick Struve.
yeah. So he had an elbow injury, so he couldn't fight. So then I told my trainer, "Hey, I'll fight. You know, I'll get," because it was like a step up from the people I fought before that.
Yeah.
And then they were like a little hesitant at first, but then Bob was like, "Okay, you know, if you want to fight, you want to fight, and fight." So yeah. I came to fight.
And you did. How many fights did you have prior to that fight?
I think that was like my 6th fight. So 5 fights before that. Yeah.
I remember, bro. My God, it was a hell of a fight because
it wasn't very good technically.
No.
But I just came to fight.
Yeah.
Just boom.
It was a beautiful fight. I like the spirit. Yeah, I like the spirit. And from that moment on, I became a fan without you knowing. And I remember when I saw Bob at an event. And do you remember how many years ago you signed the contract with UFC?
I was 20, so that was probably in 2009.
2009?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like 2012, 2013.
2009, yeah.
And I saw Bob and I spoke with Bob and I told him that I was really happy for you as a fighter and also for him as a trainer to get also, because if you're a trainer of a UFC fighter, you get more recognition. And yeah, he took it well, and I told him, please tell Stefan, to do his best. I want to tell the people that you're one of the only fighters who won from current UFC champ, Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
If I remember, this fight was in Germany or what?
No, it was in Nottingham.
Nottingham.
Yeah.
Can you tell me something about the fight? Because I saw the fight, yeah, but...
Yeah. So that was my first main event, was Stipe's first main event. Before that, we fought on the same event 2 times. So it was like a build up to this fight.
Yeah.
And we both kept on winning and winning, and we were both on a 3-fight winning streak in the UFC. And the winner of that fight would get a huge step up and come close to like top 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and he wasn't a champion, of course, at that point, but I knew he was going to be really good.
Yeah.
But at that point, my dad was really sick, so my schedule was go to the hospital in Amsterdam twice a day, train twice a day, sleep, and do the same thing again all over, and then go to fight. But it was actually one of my best fights because especially he won the first round, but then I stepped my game up, and he had no chance in the second round. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah, so. Because I saw you in the first round, you were a little bit hesitant, you were struggling to try to get him sometimes, and he was countering with...
He's very explosive, you know, and for me, I'm 7 foot, so those guys are always going to be more explosive.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best athletes in the world.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's hard to get that game going, especially when they're still fresh. People always say, you're so tall, they shouldn't be able to come in and all that.
Easy to talk on the
you
side,
see an athlete like Stipe Miocic, who he had the choice to go to baseball or a different sporting career. But
wrestling.
He wrestled before that. He's a super good athlete. Yeah. So to keep that guy off you, man, that's not an easy task. You know what I mean? So, but the second round, I found my range, and especially piled up the pressure. Yeah. And he couldn't hang in there. So. Yeah,
I saw it. I remember that fight. It was a good fight. To be honest, I didn't know Stipe, but I saw, especially during the first round, that you're struggling a little bit with him, which is normal, because I tell people being tall can be an advantage, but it also can be a disadvantage.
Of course. Yeah. If it would be that easy, all the NBA players would be in MMA. You know
of course. That's perfect. Your ground game was quite good for a Dutch MMA fighter. But where did you train your ground game?
Well, it already started when we were still training here. I was 15, 16 years old, and I was training with guys who were a lot more experienced, a lot stronger. So I had to solve everything on technique. Yeah. So that's how I learned to, not use strength on the ground, but really use technique and find openings and solutions on the ground. And I just built on that, and that's how I built a very technical game and a very active game. Still one of the most active heavyweights, submission-wise, submission attempt-wise. Yeah.
So because when I see you moving on the ground, you move like a real good black brown belt
Uh-huh.
jiu-jitsu fighter. And I was like, hey bro, who taught this guy all this? Because you're all really elusive on the ground.
Yeah.
You're totally not stressed, you're real calm, and you're just controlling everything.
Uh-huh.
So I was really impressed by your ground game, because I'm not impressed by the ground game of Dutch fighters, because
no.
our background is most of the time stand up.
Simple, yeah.
Yeah. So that being said, I was really surprised. And
I always fought really hard too. I wasn't afraid. Later on in my career, I had issues because of the thing with my heart.
Yeah, of course.
To really go into the next gear.
Yeah.
But in the past, before all that happened, I never thought about getting tired.
Yeah.
I just worked.
I could see, bro.
I was constantly attacking from bottom, from top, like submissions. And that's, you know, what a lot of people enjoy. And that's why a lot of people watch my fights. So.
Yeah, I was always watching your fight, because the thing with you is there was always non-stop action. Even though sometimes I saw you getting hit, I was like, Stefan, my friend, Stefan, please pay attention. But you know, I know it's a hard game, especially when you're fighting the top level fighters.
It's very slim line too, because people always say, I love watching him fight, but he makes a lot of mistakes. But they love watching me fight because I always came to fight.
Yes.
And sometimes then you have to take a step back to not get hit, but you're so in the fight that you know.
You just get lost. It's like
you get lost and you just want to fight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, bro. Serious. To be honest, I think you don't get the credit you deserve, which I see a lot of with the Dutch audience. Is kind of.
It's a tough crowd.
I find him kind of hypocrite, to be honest.
It's you know, I don't really care. I always did it for me, and listen, the thing is, like, when you have like 100 reactions on your social media, there's a lot of people who are very happy and they say great things, but there's always going to be a couple people who say bad things. You always remember the bad things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's just the way it works. But I never did it for anybody but me. You know, I always got a kick out of fighting in the big arenas, and also before the UFC, I fought all over Europe. Oftentimes last minute against the local guys to get them. They had me lined up for them to get a nice win, but I always kicked their ass.
Yes,
so
I know.
That's how I got into the UFC. You know, I always got a kick out of fighting in those arenas. So it's and you know, I don't pay attention anymore. When I was younger, I used to pay a lot of attention to the negative things, but now I just really appreciate, you know, people coming and being like, hey, you know, you did a great job. So.
I remember you put on the social media, like I think a week or two, 1 or 2 weeks ago, you posted up that you were retired.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people reacting. And there was one guy who reacted in a way which I didn't find it convenient, so I reacted on him.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he didn't see it. But that guy, he reacted a little bit aggressive on me.
Okay.
Yeah, serious, man. And I told him, bro, I don't give a fuck how you react. I think every fighter deserves his credit. And this guy fought for the Dutch.
He never fought, probably. So.
Yeah, that's what I told him. It's easy to talk from the outside coming in. He fought in the UFC for many, now you tell me, just for a decade, and you fought all the top fighters. And I know, I did only like 2 MMA fights, but I did a lot of kickboxing fights. I know fighting is a hard game, especially against those top fighters. Being under the spotlight in America, doesn't matter where. And it's just also a really dangerous game.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's one of the things. I started to think a little too much after my first health issues.
Yeah.
Then you really see that you can be hit, you can be hurt, and that sometimes things don't always end up well. You know what I mean? And before that, I always went up into the cage, and I kind of felt immortal. You know what I mean? I didn't really care what happened because I would walk outside and how badly bruised or whatever. You know, I didn't care. But especially the Mark Hunt fight, because at that point we didn't really know about my heart condition yet. And the first round went pretty well. I ended up in full mount, and I was really winning the fight. And then my body just quit on me. And
he hit you with a right overhand, I think.
Yeah, in the third round, but I could barely still stand.
Yeah, I saw it.
But even when I went back to my corner, there was no recovery. My heartbeat was like close to around 200 a minute, and like I was like, I don't know what was going on. So I just tried to stay in fight and beat him. But man, we didn't know about the heart condition at that point. I was sick for about 6 weeks before the fight, but it went away a couple weeks before the fight, and it probably not the best decision to fight because I was on antibiotics and all that. But I was like, win this fight, and if I would have won that fight, could have fought for the title.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to win. I was wanting to fight. So it caught up with me. So and then after that fight, they found about the heart condition, and yeah, I think a lot of people know. It took a lot to come back. So
I didn't expect you to come back, to be honest. I didn't expect it. And when I saw you, because you recovered for how long?
It was about a year and a half, but they put me on medication, and that's not a great thing for your career either. It was tough, and in that time, my dad also passed away.
Oh.
So there was a lot of things going on in my head, and I didn't really like. I was focused on coming back.
Yeah.
So I didn't really focus on. I was focused on my heart a little bit, of course, but I didn't really, the other two things that I should have been more focused on, I wasn't, because of how much I wanted to come back. But all that just made it harder to come back. So.
Because do you remember which fight was your return fight after your?
Against Alistair. So
against Alistair.
Yeah, but a couple months before that, I was supposed to fight Matt Mitrione.
Yeah.
And then I blacked out in the locker room.
I remember that.
I couldn't handle the stress anymore. And then they lined me up against Alistair. I didn't have a lot of choice. I couldn't really say no, because I just wanted to fight again. But they could have made me fight someone a little easier than Alistair.
They could give you the tough route. But you took it, and again, it shows your heart as a fighter to go against Alistair, a legend in the sport, which I also think doesn't get his credit because of his last fight, which he lost. And come on, let's be honest. You and Alistair put MMA, to be honest, the last 2 decades on the card for the Dutch fighters.
Yeah, well, there's more people, of course.
No, I'm not talking about, of course, you have Bob Schreiber and all those, but I'm talking about the last 2 decades. It's you and Alistair.
Yeah, well, we have Gegard too, of course.
Oh yeah, Gegard Mousasi, sorry.
Jermaine is doing great for, especially
women's MMA.
For women's MMA in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
So, but you're one of the select few, but people always focus on. A lot of people came to this sport later on. They haven't seen the first part of my career, and the last part of my career. Unfortunately, I lost 5 of my last 6, and they've seen a lot of that. I struggled. I didn't look as good. Yeah. But a lot of people came to this sport because they see guys like Conor McGregor and all those guys, and if they see that you're not on that level, he's not very good. Like that's
these
how
people are ignorant.
Yeah, but. The thing is not to worry about that, not to care about it, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of fans that really did appreciate the effort, and really, it's hard to understand now and then how much work someone puts in, especially for like when you come back. Yeah. People don't see behind the scenes. No, of course. They don't see you struggle, like all the hard work you put in and how hard it is.
It's mentally, huh?
Yeah, and that was the toughest thing, man. Like, especially you see that afterwards, you know what I mean? Because you're not, you don't have tunnel vision anymore on preparing for a fight. Yeah.
So you're a wider vision now. Also, I think also you see life in another. How do you call it? How do you say it? Like
in a different light.
In a different light than before, because before you only like tunnel vision as a fighter, and now you see it like general human.
Yeah, no, I was really done because. Because of the health issues, and then last year I had an ear infection, and unfortunately it damaged my vestibular system and the hearing nerve. So, and then in my last fight, we didn't know that before the last fight. Before that, we thought that some crystals came loose. They can travel through your ear, and that's why you get balance issues. Yeah. And things got better, but in my last fight, I got hit on the ear, and then the issues came back, and they got worse after the fight. So we had to line up new tests. But it took a long time because of the lockdown. Non-urgent care takes forever now. So it was like 3 months later, and then they did a lot of tests, and this side is pretty damaged. So then I was like, I'm done. I'm done. We have I have a 6-month-old son right now, and he's our everything. So daddy wants to be healthy and see him grow up. So
and you're still young, So
yeah.
And I guess I don't want to know about finances, but I think you've done well also. I think UFC took good care of you while you were fighting. Yeah,
but I'm not done. Like I still like I have some time now, but I definitely need to start something different. So,
of course.
But I have time, and I have a couple ideas which I'm really excited about, which me and a friend are working on. We are working on our own supplement and nutrition line, but it's not standard because there's so many products, but it's going to be different.
You have to be different, I think.
You have to be different, but there's going to be a couple really cool things that I think people are going to really enjoy. So And it's a whole new thing, you know what I mean? And that's not the only thing, but just being focused on other things besides just going to the gym again and eating all the right things and going to bed. And it's no, I don't want to do that anymore.
It's tiring, yeah?
Yeah.
Doing it for years and years and years. What's your weight right now?
Probably 265, so like 120 kilos. So I watch my food really good because also because of the lockdown, it's hard to train a lot.
Yeah.
So you gotta be smart and be healthy. So.
Did you ever think about considering maybe helping your trainer Bob in the gym and also be like assistant coach and helping those young and upcoming guys guide them through the mental toughest parts of fighting?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely. I was already doing it for a long time, taking care of the wrestling and the grappling classes at the gym and doing some coaching. I don't want my own gym.
No.
Especially with what's going on right now. I see so many people who work so hard to build a nice gym, build a good following. So yeah, you make some money off of it because you know it's really hard to manage a good gym. Yeah. And it's a lot of hard work. You're home late every single night, and I don't want to miss out on on my little man. So it's definitely not gonna be my own gym, but I do enjoy coaching, and I think the people I work with really enjoy it. And also I trained in the US for a while, of course.
In Florida?
Yeah, to get a different look on training and all the grappling and all the wrestling I learned there. I wish I knew that back then when I was coming up. And I teach that to a bunch of young kids right now, starting like 16, 17, 18. And I see them doing things where I'm like, wow. That's gonna be cool. If you keep up like this, you never know, because they can stop training, or you never know what happens. You lose a fight badly. It's tough. So.
But how long have you been training in Florida? Because I saw you the last few fights. It seems like you were there like maybe 4 to 6 weeks before your fight. You were trained there. Or?
So I went there in 2015, January 2015. I trained there for 6 months before I fought Nogueira. Yeah. And 2015, 2016, I was there like 11 out of 12 months out of the year. So I really moved there. So I just came here to see my family and my now wife. So, but I was focused on training, and then I really needed something to reignite my career because I lost focus and I wasn't motivated over here anymore. And I wanted a different look on training. I wanted to learn more about the wrestling and the way they grapple in the US. So, and I gained a lot from that. But and then in 2017 is when I fought Volkov here in Rotterdam. But in the beginning of the year, I had shoulder surgery. So I was out for about 6 months. And that was actually the start of my bad streak where I was losing a bunch of fights. It was hard. I just didn't fight. I didn't fight the way I always used to fight, the way people enjoy it. I was way too. I was thinking too much.
Bro, but you fought some serious guys, man. Volkov, Nogueira, Alistair, Mark Hunt, Stipe Miocic.
I fought all the big names pretty much, and then. Whoa. The fight with Volkov actually was a really good fight. The first round was it was probably his toughest round, because the first round I really gave him hell. I almost knocked him out. So it was very close, but he's a very good fighter. So it is what it is. Looking back now, I enjoyed it, and it was a great experience. Traveled the world, and just awesome.
Awesome, man. Yeah, but what do you think about the heavyweight division right now? With Derek Lewis and Blades and all those guys, and especially Biggie Boy. What's the name of the first guy? Gane?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of new guys coming up. And the difference with the past is that these are true heavyweights. If you look at Nogueira and Fedor, they could have fought at like 205 if they watched
especially Fedor.
It's Fedor especially. But you see these guys, and they're like 115 to 120 kilos. And they move very good, like Gane. He's like very light on his feet, and he's a huge athlete, very good athlete. And you got a guy like Ngannou, who isn't very good technically, but if you get hit by him,
it's like you're out, my friend. You're just out.
And Derek Lewis, same thing. He comes to fight too. He fights very hard, and people underestimate him though, because he's not technical. He's not technical on the ground, but it's pretty much impossible to control and submit him. unless you go Daniel Cormier who did that. That shows how good he is. But there's a lot of power in the division walking around right now.
I think Derek Lewis, for me, is the most dangerous heavyweight walking on this earth right now.
Yeah,
for me,
you need to have elite wrestling and skills to controlling him.
Like Daniel did,
like Daniel Cormier, like Stipe.
Yeah.
I thought Blades was going to be able to do it.
No,
he got knocked out, but his wrestling is very good. But the weird thing was he was trying to strike with him, and then he did one takedown, but he gave up on it pretty fast.
Yeah.
And but he's very good at getting a hold of someone, wrestling, and then even when they smother them. When they get back up, he's in a position to take them down immediately again. So just to tire him out. But Lewis is a very dangerous fighter. When he comes to fight, he's power, he's hard, he's very enjoyable to watch.
And I like him as a character also.
Yeah, he does a great job to build his persona.
But he's a good person. He's doing really good things for the community in Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Yeah, so I like his person. He's not only his persona. I think his real person is like this. And bro, if this guy hits, he's really coming to fight. He's serious.
Yeah, he took my record. He's the one. I think I'm trailing behind him in most finishes in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
He's got only knockouts. I have knockouts and submissions. He's never gonna submit anyone.
No, he won't. He's not technical enough. He just wants to destroy you.
Yeah, he wants to knock people out. He enjoys it.
The fight coming up, Stipe Miocic against Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
The second one. What do you think about the outcome of that fight?
I think, Stipe is not getting any younger, and I think Ngannou is really in his prime right now. But people underestimate Stipe still after what he did to him in his first fight. But he's such a good wrestler, and he's so strong. People think that Ngannou is going to be a lot stronger, but Stipe may be the strongest guy I fought because I tried to get into clinch situations and work for takedowns with him, but his power was really strong. And so I would not be surprised at all if the fight goes the same way. So I think we're gonna learn a lot about Francis Ngannou in this upcoming fight. If he got a lot better, if his takedown defense got better. The thing we know is if this guy touches you in the right way, you go to sleep. Yeah. It doesn't matter who you are. So
I think also that he has grown as a fighter. He became more calm in the fight because in the beginning he was rushing for the KO, and now he became calmer. And I think if somebody with that power takes his time, stay calm, because he knows he can be behind 4 rounds. In the 5th round, he still can clip you and put your lights out. So it's going to be interesting. But I also think that maybe I'm one of the few, together with you, that Stipe is going to win again.
I thought the same thing about Ngannou, but then his last fight against Biggie Boy, that made no sense. Technically, it was so bad. You know what
he was lucky.
He came up swinging like this, and Jorginho is one of the few guys who wasn't intimidated by him. He kept looking. You saw him because he's got a very good eye, but he was going backwards, and he actually connected with a good shot, but. That's the thing with Ngannou. He doesn't only hit hard, but he's made out of I don't know what. But he takes shots like it's nothing. You know what I mean?
Because he got hit with a good left hook from Biggie Boy. But
Jorginho's got a really good eye. He keeps looking, and especially when you see that in his first couple fights, when these guys come in, boom, he clips him. And that's why he struggled against Gane, because Gane was very patient. He didn't rush in.
I didn't want him to fight against Gane. I told Bob I didn't like the fight. I didn't like the style because I knew Gane is a calculated fighder. And Biggie Boy needs somebody to bring the fight over to him because then he's at his strongest.
He struggles in making the fight.
Yeah. Oh, your little boy.
Yeah, he's speaking up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I wanted to ask you about. I forgot. Sorry. Oh my God. First time, I forgot what I wanted to ask you.
Can we take one little short break?
Yeah, of course.
Then you can think about your
I think about my questions. You do your daddy duty.
Daddy duty. I'll give him his pacifier.
Okay. This is life, my friends. My friend, he has to take care of his baby. As far as for now, I'm really delighted with the interview because he's showing himself as a person, not only as a fighter, as a humble, respectful guy. And that's why I like what I'm doing now, man. Just giving the, how do you say it? Giving the limelight to these kind of fighters. Working hard, struggling, fighting mentally, having heart problems, and still going to the octagon against the strongest athletes there are, and competing. That's why I tell the audience, I respect these guys, man. They're doing a lot to entertain you guys, so please give them a little bit of respect. Look at this guy, man. Fought for 12 years against the top fighters. Of course, he lost some fights at the end, but he fought the best of the best. So, yeah, I find it really hard sometimes to see the comments that you guys put on underneath the post. I don't tell you guys to lick their asses, but show them at least some respect, because you know these people are going through rough times, especially in the afterglow. But he's coming back.
There you go.
Daddy Struve is back.
Yes. Hopefully he gives us some more time.
Yeah. Oh,
If he hears us talking downstairs,
it's normal.
Curious.
He's curious. He's sick. What's the name of your son?
Toby.
Toby.
Yeah.
And he's like 6 months old?
6 months old, yeah. He's awesome.
He's awesome. What do you think about if Toby tells you at the age of 10, Papa, I want to become an MMA fighter?
Well, at 10, he's still old enough for me to talk it out of his head.
But you gotta understand that if he makes that decision and he's stubborn enough to continue it, yeah, you're gonna support it, I think.
I'm just gonna buy a soccer ball, keeper gloves, goalkeeper gloves, and a basketball, and he can choose whatever he wants to do. But
Yeah.
now, if he wants to fight, he wants to fight, and yeah, like what can I say? If he really wants to do it and pursue it,
Yeah.
I did the same thing. So, but hopefully not, because Daddy has had it with the fight stress.
Yeah, of course. You don't want your son or your kid to go through that.
Probably not. No, I prefer to see him do something else. But whatever makes him happy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And if he decides to do it, that means you didn't push him. He wanted to do it. And if he's passionate about it,
yeah.
9 of the 10 times you get a good result because he's doing it from his inner self. You know, and
we'll see. Whatever he wants to do. So he's definitely going to learn how to fight, because I think it's very important. It teaches you morals and respect, and it really shows you to be able to you know, be a good person in this world. You need to be able to also know how to protect yourself. Just be confident about yourself. You know what I mean? I think it's really important. I think this sport really teaches that, and if you have that kind of ability and control, I think it helps you grow a lot as a person. So
yeah, you told me about your father passed away how many years ago?
7.5 years ago already. Yeah.
Your mother's, I guess, still alive.
Yeah.
What was your mother's way of thinking about you telling her that you're going to do MMA? Because I know mothers are really sensitive when it comes to those things.
The good thing was my brother was already fighting.
Yeah.
So, and they saw I really enjoyed it, and they met my coaches, Bob and Irma, and they liked them. So, and they saw that I really enjoyed it, and I wasn't hanging on the street, whatever. I went to school, I got my degrees, my diplomas. I trained, I listened very well, so...
you were frankly a good boy.
I was good, yeah, I was, every kid growing up is a little annoying at that age now and then, but training definitely, you know, helped me become, you know, an adult at that point, really early on, the way thinking about things and stuff. I just wanted to train, you know what I mean? And especially over there, you get taught discipline, you know what I mean? When you walk into that gym with all the big guys at that point.
You mean in
Beverwijk?
Yeah, in Beverwijk, yeah, of course.
Because I was nobody, and then at that point, Bob was still fighting, and all the big names in the gym.
Oh, Bob was, at that time, Bob was still fighting when you started training?
Yeah, I think when I started training, he just fought Melvin Manouf.
Yeah.
For the first time in Ahoy,
Yeah,
so he was in the last part of his career, but he was still fighting. He had other guys who were fighting on those shows and abroad. So
Bob is a special person, man. I really like him as a person and as a fighter, and can't say it enough. Old school, respectful, humble fighter.
Yeah, definitely. also a big part of why I fought the way I fought, because I always came to fight. You know what I mean? That's one of the things he teaches his students. You fight, you come to fight.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you lose, but if you lose after you fought your heart out,
yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, you give it all you have. That's his mentality, man. His mentality. I want to give a shout out again to my man Bob. Unfortunately, he wasn't here with the interview, but I guess he's gonna see it. Bob, all the respect. I wish you nothing but the best for you and Emma with your gym, especially in these tough times. Stefan, once again, I want to thank you very, very much for the opportunity to interview you. Once again, I see you as not a normal, you're average, you're an icon of the MMA sports. And I'm not an ass-licking of nobody. I'm just saying the way it is, you know. And I hope that you have a wonderful life with your son, your wife, and that maybe in the future you do something with MMA fighters, help them guide through the mental parts, of course, the physical part, and also the nutrition part of fighting. And once again, thanks. And is there something maybe you want to tell the audience something? Because I have a lot of people from Hungary, Italy, because I travel, a lot of followers.
Follow my man the Tank.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the interview, and I hope you guys enjoyed my career. I sure did.
Okay. Like, subscribe to my man. You know the Tank. Peace, and we're out. Okay. Thanks, man. Let's stop.
Yeah, man.
Super.